And then the last thing I'll say on it is I learned about 6-7 years ago, and this has been very instrumental to my success in the business, is do not have a relationship with the tenants. Because the moment you have a relationship with the tenants, you start to feel sympathy for, their personal situations and everything. I found that by having it more black and white and just business oriented, I'm not so bogged down emotionally. I'm a very emotional, caring, kind of tender person, right? So when I hear sad stories and things, I give people a lot of latitude. But now we just have very kind of strict procedures that we follow. And as a result, we haven't had an eviction in 5 years. We haven't, we haven't had just nearly the number of problems. It's when you start to deviate and give a lot of special treatment and whatnot that I feel like things start to go a little south for you. So, at least this is my opinion. So.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting perspective. And it makes a lot of sense. What would you say would be, how do you balance, being that business oriented, but still giving the tenant or resident a good customer experience and not appearing like this, slumlord that doesn't care?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, I would say that it starts with the people that I have in the operations part of our business. They have 15 years and 8 years of experience in property management, so they kind of know how to navigate the waters. They understand the laws really well. That's part of the reason that we brought the construction piece into the fold as well, is to provide a higher level of service when it comes to maintenance and everything like that. And again, not to sort of toot my own horn, but we have 215 Google reviews and a 4.5 rating. And so if you look at the numbers, we are the highest rated property management company in the entire state by a large margin. I have not seen, like our biggest competitor, who I won't name, has about a 2-star review, and most of the other ones are in the 1s, 2s, and 3s. So I think you can still be humane and treat people very ethically. I think it all comes down to the standards that I set for my people, that we're going to be courteous and professional and all this kind of stuff. But contracts exist for a reason. It's so that everybody can understand the expectations. So there's expectations on us, there's expectations on the owner, and there's expectations on the tenant. And as long as everybody is doing what they've agreed to in that piece of paper, we're all going to be fine.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive about the Google reviews. I mean, I'd say in this business, it's pretty hard to get positive reviews because typically you're the bad guy. Mm-hmm. Whether it's coming from the owner or the tenant, you usually are the deliverer of bad news.
I'd say we'd have a 4.9 review if it weren't for tenants having issues with the way security deposits are handled. They always feel like nothing is their fault and that they should get their full amount back. But sometimes it's just not the case. And so that's where I would say 80-90% of all disputes arises in that particular part of the transaction.
Want to hear more on this topic? Click the link below for the full episode of Maximizing Your Property Value.